Hey, welcome back to another episode of Radio 22's Talk 22, the show hosted by me, your boy Mizzle to the Jizzle. We are here once again, providing you the conversations that you want to talk about, and we're hitting you nothing but the real. And appreciate you coming back for another episode. We appreciate everybody that came through and listened to our conversation when we talked about coronavirus and all the effects that's happening in the community. As the numbers we see are still going up, we just got to be careful out there, y'all. I mean, it's crazy, but at the same time, you got to be safe. You still got to live your life, but you just got to be safe out there with it. So we appreciate everybody that soaked in that knowledge and shared everything and commented. And we're just looking for more of your feedback on the conversation that we're bringing you today. And that being said, today's conversation is a conversation that is due because we are maybe a few days out, maybe about 7-8 days out from election day, y'all. Election day coming November 3rd. We want everybody to go out and vote. Radio 22, we appreciate everybody to go out there and vote and share your vote, whichever way you want to do it. The matter is that you put out your opinion, and that's what we are all about here on Talk 22. And that being said, when I looked on the internet just recently, one of the things that I saw that came across my plate was that there was a big play off of canceling the homie Ice Cube. Now, for me, I mean, those that know me know that Ice Cube is one of my top 10 MCs of all time. So the way that I see it, the homie Ice Cube deserves some respect. And I appreciate, those that follow him, but I'm like, wow, how can we go against Ice Cube with this, So, but it did look kind of foreign when we looked at it because they saying Ice Cube was following Trump. And that didn't sound right to me because the whole agendas didn't seem like they're related. But I think we're going to find out more about that and talk more about that. But, it was also some shade on the homie 50 and some others as well. I just didn't see him in the same light as you might see like a Kanye or whatnot. But, I want to just see what my panel think about it. Man, I got such a large panel today. We're going to hear about it today because we got I say I got heavy hitters, but I'm for real this time. We got some heavy hitters on the line, and I appreciate all of them for coming through and sharing their opinions. So I want to introduce them today to you. Out of the Iowa area, I got ladies first. I'm going to introduce Nari. Nari, can you unmute your mic and say hello to the people, please?
Hey, how y'all doing? What's up, family? My name is Nari Rowe. I'm 18 years old, and I currently attend the University of Dubuque. I used to live in Madison and was senior class president of East High School, and I'm happy to be here tonight.
Thank you for coming through, Nari.
Yep.
We appreciate you. So also on the line, I got the homie Al. Al, can you say what's up to the people?
Hey, what's going on? My name is Al. I'm from the Milwaukee area. I'm representing the AntiSocial Podcast and glad to be here.
We appreciate you, Al, for coming through as well. Also on the line, from Chicago by way now to the Madison area, we got the homie Bang came to rejoin the program. We appreciate you, Bang.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. Big shout out to Radio 22. My name is Bang. I'm an artist, and I also help put on the Written Rumble series, and I'm also the owner of Blaze the Stage.
Man, that's what's up. Y'all follow that if you ain't. Look more into it. The homie Bang on the line. We appreciate him for coming through. So also on the line, we got the homie Artist Collective. Artist Collective is on the line. Can you say what's up to the people?
And Artist Collective. If you look below, I also represent MP Official. Make sure you check him out. And I'm really excited to be a part of this panel. I have arguments about this stuff online all the time, so it's really dope to be able to sit here with so many elegant and beautiful Black people, really get into the Black address that's happening in America.
That's what's up. We can't wait to hear more of your opinions too. Also on the line, I told you it's a lot of people on the line today, y'all. On the line, I got the homie Alva. Alva out in the Madison area. Say what's up.
How are we doing, everybody? Albert Hansbrough here, from representing Madison area. Simple as that.
That's what's good. I mean, short and sweet.
Yeah.
Also out of the line, I got the homie D-Scribe. D-Scribe, you say what's up to the people.
What's up, D-Scribe Music, producer, recording engineer, born and raised in Milwaukee, working out of Milwaukee all the way up to Green Bay. How's everybody
That's
doing?
what's up. Taking all the way from Milwaukee to the GB. That's what's up. Also, last but not least on the line, I got the homie Ton Draper. Say what's up.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Tom Draper on another motherfucking caper. We out here. AntiSocial Club Podcast. 50% of it.
That's what's good, bro. Out of the Milwaukee area. So we're just gonna step right into it, y'all. You know how we do. So I just want to ask the panel right away, getting into the first question. The way we look at it with Ice Cube and coming to pursue, something for the black people, I want to know from all of y'all. I'm gonna start with the homie Al. Is Ice Cube wrong for trying to pursue a better situation for black Americans through advocating it through the politicians here?
Well, my opinion is I fully agree with Ice Cube because for long, since way back in the day to now, the Democratic vote has always been black people. Always don't vote Democratic, and now he's pressing them to get them in line to give us a black agenda. Don't just think that you got the black vote in your back pocket. So he's saying, hey, the man TB, Trump baby, I guess he's talking a black agenda or whatever, or at least talking about the issue and trying to win the black vote as opposed to Biden Harris thinking that the black vote is already won. So me personally, I don't blame him for stirring the pot because maybe that will have the Democratic Party address some of the black issues a little bit more. But that's just my opinion. So I don't think he's wrong.
Okay. I want to ask now, Nari on the line. I want to ask you, what is your thoughts on they're really trying to cancel Cube. I mean, are they right for that, or is it are they tripping? I mean,
I completely agree with Al. I think no, because someone was eventually going to have to do it, and I think he picked the perfect time, considering. I think he picked the perfect time to come up with a list of demands, considering the election is topic of discussion right now, along with all the police brutality that's just happened in this 1 year, not even counting all the other years, I also think Ice Cube, like many others, have finally realized that it doesn't matter who the president is, and that our situation is only going to change when we change and when we come together and when we start lifting each other up and when we start pouring into our communities instead of taking like everybody else. It was like he said in the interview. He said we want something in exchange for our vote. So I think what he's doing is powerful, and it's kind of absurd that people are even questioning the fact that he wants to make our situation better.
Okay. I'm gonna reach now to Alva. Alva, we thinking Cube is one of my all-time favorites. Is
mine too.
Is Cube tripping, or are we tripping for trying to cancel him?
Well, to piggyback off of what Nari was just saying about lifting each other up, that's the first problem that we have. We're like crabs in a bucket. You know what I mean? And once we see somebody trying to progress, us in the black community tend to try to pull them down. Oh, well, it's not me, so I'm going to pull this one down. I'm going to yank him down. And it's continually happening that way. Ice Cube has earned a platform to represent the black community. And he's done it since he was 17, 18, 19 years old when he was with NWA. That was the platform. And now he earned the right to say, wait a minute, what are you going to do? What have you done for me lately, so to speak? And right now, like she said, with all of this going on, this is the quintessential time to grab and demand, hey, change, because since this government was founded, it hasn't been that way. And you know, when the slaves were doing it, it was the same thing. The reason why the Electoral College was voted, so then slave owners can't say, hey, you know, this black person voting, that black person voting, extra votes. So it's the exact same thing. Our vote has always been subjected to one side or the other. And quite frankly, that's probably why the paradigm shift happened. Republicans changed their stand of ending slavery and be like, hey, you know, we don't want to have to deal with this in the future because we know the progression of black is always going to be frowned upon on the other side of government.
I mean, that's the real deal point right there. I want to ask the homie Bang. I want to ask a different question here. You know, so much is made out of the situation when we look at, you know, that every 4 years we always hear like, you got to vote or die. This is it, y'all. I mean, it's gonna be the end of the world if y'all don't vote. You know that this one's so important. You know, and if this guy don't get elected, it's over for y'all. My question for you is, should blacks feel that their vote matters?
Well, definitely the black vote matters. I think black people, or maybe some black people, might think that their vote don't matter. But you know, you have to vote for who you feel is going to take care of you and your people. And sometimes you have to pick the lesser of the two evils, like how I guess the situation that we are in now. But the thing is, your vote is very powerful. A lot of people went through a lot so that black people can't vote. It's our fault that we have to choose between the lesser of the two evils, because anybody that any one of us can, you know, can be up there for that presidential seat or any seat in politics. You know what I'm saying? But we choose to take different routes and different avenues. You know, so just because the person or the people that's the candidates don't look like you or came from where you came from, is not their fault. You know, is our fault. So, you know, of course your vote does matter, and you should vote for who you feel is going to do the best job for you and your people, or encourage our people, you know, to try to take some of those seats, you know, to make sure, you know, like people like Q, you know, if he was trying to be the president, we already know he gonna look out for us, and there you go, you can vote for somebody that looks like you. But this who we got, Biden and Trump. So that's just what it is.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Artist Collective. You know, it is party politics. You do have to, it seems like, vote for one or the other. Should blacks feel like their votes matter?
Hold on. I'm looking at a stat right now. And from 1988, black vote has only gone up 3% in 2016. So essentially, right, in 1988, we made up 9.8% of the vote. And in 2016, we made 11.9% of the vote. And we didn't get Hillary Clinton. 97% of black women voted for Hillary Clinton. So the majority of the black vote went to a candidate that we didn't get. So how am I supposed to say that my vote's gonna matter when black votes don't have majority in electoral college places? They gotta double down in Florida on the black vote for Biden to win. So the issue isn't necessarily does the black vote matter, it's what the black vote is voting on. When Obama was in office, or when a Democrat was in office, we should have eliminated the electoral college the first time so that our votes actually do matter. We are separated by region. So we need to start voting on legislation that changes our regional ability about our vote and what it's worth, instead of just saying every 4, every 8 years, we're going to vote, knowing that our vote doesn't hold the weight as a white vote someplace else.
Okay. I wanted to get okay. I want to get more opinion on that. Let's see, who can we go to next? Let's go to my homie out of Green Bay here, the Green Bay area. Let's see. I want to ask you the same question. Should blacks feel like their votes matter? I mean, like we go through this all the time, and a good friend of mine told me, in his opinion, he felt like the hood gonna look like the hood before the vote and after the vote. It's gonna look exactly the same. Ain't
It
gonna be
will.
no difference.
It will.
So I want to ask the homie D Scribe. We're gonna ask, does the black vote matter?
Now that's a different question than you were asking other people. So you asking me if the black vote matters. Well, you were asked the previous question was, should we feel like our vote
Okay,
matters,
right.
right?
Should we
And
feel
so,
like the black vote matter?
I got a couple questions. What's the
Hmm.
definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing and expecting a different result, correct?
That's
The
correct.
definition of insanity is doing the same thing, participating in the same processes, and expecting a different result. Why should I feel like my vote matters? I want somebody to tell me that. Why should I feel like my vote matters? And that has nothing to do with whomever died for me to have the right to vote. That does not dictate that my vote matters. Those are two mutually exclusive ideas. They're not related. So while I can respect those who died for my right to vote, it's my right to choose to cast a vote for two people who don't give a about me regardless. Because to your point, the hood gonna look the same before and after the election, right? And so to the previous question, I applaud Q for what he's doing. He's been talking a lot and writing a lot since he was 16, 17, and now he's doing something. The cancel culture is new. They know, are we there yet, Cube? They don't know, fuck the police, Cube.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? They don't know who this man is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even worry about all that. But again, why should I feel like my vote matters? I done voted for plenty of people who didn't produce the result that I wanted. I said before I was 18 that I would never vote. And then a black man ran. And then I couldn't let the crack man's son win again and cheat twice. And none of this shit mattered, to be honest with you. None mattered. Tell me why I should feel like my vote matters. Because when I go to the hood, as to your point, Mizzle Jizzle, all my peoples are still suffering. Ain't nobody doing nothing for me. So I just want to know, why should I feel like my vote matters?
That is that is a good point, because I feel like a lot of Americans across the board kind of feel that way in the black societies. I want to get to the homie Draper. I want to ask you the same question. Does it feel like the blacks should feel like their votes matter?
Let me ask y'all something before I answer that. Did anybody get a stimulus check?
Yeah, they got stimulus checks.
Or did everybody get everybody got a stimulus check, right? Did everybody spend it? Or did you invest it? Or, I'm just asking, okay, I don't want y'all to tell the truth. We're just gonna keep it real. Trump bought his way through and he keep punking us. And it's our vote really don't count. I'm just keep it 100. We're in a position right now where if we thought this was the vote, we missed the vote. You got your local elections and your judges and all that. Where we missed all of that. That been happened. You know what I'm saying? These people's already in office. If those are his guys, or if they crooked, we can't get them out. So now you finna run to the polls. COVID and everything. Yeah. We doing it. Nah, bro, we not doing it. We're not doing it. So no, the black vote doesn't matter. But what you do need to understand that as black people, we do count. So you gotta, think about yourself. You gotta think about your own four walls. And what are you gonna do no matter who gets in there? Because neither one of them really give a shit. Oh, my bad. neither one of them really care about the black community. You know what I'm saying? They're pimping the black vote, and it's been that way for a long time. And if that second stimulus check would have came, everybody would have checked in. You know what I'm saying? When nobody been like, no, I don't mess with Trump. I ain't taking dude money. Everybody would have took that money. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, yellow, or what have you. So to bring it all around, we got to do better.
So you think it's a money play is what Drake was saying. Okay. Yes. I want to ask, Nari, I see you got a rebuttal. Go ahead. Speak on it.
Not necessarily a rebuttal. I actually agree. I don't know if you all know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but I be watching some of his videos. I'm a follower of his. And what he said was that it's not that our votes don't matter. It's that we don't have the economic power to back up our votes. Because he also mentioned that Asian Americans do not vote as much as we do. Asian Americans vote. Only 47% of Asian Americans vote versus 67% of African Americans. Yet they're not getting treated nearly as bad as us. Why is that? That's because everywhere you look, they got shops set up somewhere. They have the money to back up themselves, and they have a sense of community and all this other stuff. They're not depending on that vote, whereas black people are. I feel like, personally, I just feel like black people are the most ridiculed when it comes to politics. And it's like what Bang was saying earlier, like you got to pick between two lesser evils. And it's like Ice Cube was saying, he was like, I'm not about to say I'm on either one of y'all's side. I'm on whoever want to do business with me. And he made it clear that I don't have to like you to do business with you. And I just think that our votes, I think they matter, but they're not like what everybody was saying. They're not going towards our actual needs. And we do not have the economic power to back our vote up.
Okay. I see Al. I see you, Al. I want to hear from you, Al, now. Go ahead.
I just want to piggyback on Nari. I was reading an article, or maybe it was a video, that says the only way a vote will count unless it has some economic value behind it. And if you don't have economic value behind your vote, no matter what color you are, it's not going to matter. So that means not only do you vote, but you have some economic value. You pay for that local judge. You pay for that local school district or whatever, and you keep paying until you start getting in a position where you can demand certain things. We can vote all day, but if you don't have any economic power behind that vote, you just putting a vote in a box. And just another thing, and I'll leave it alone. Does anybody ever look at it as every time we vote, all we're doing is voting for a new slave master, regardless of Democrat or Republican? That's all it is, new overseer. Because we never gonna get 100% black person for president and vice president. You always gotta have somebody white in there to make sure to keep the jigaboos in line. So that's, in my opinion, and all we doing is fighting. We cussing our cousins out and going to war with our man Ice Cube because he's voting for this, he's saying this, that, and the third. All it is this new slave master. So at the end of the day, all we doing is picking who whipping us the hardest. So
okay.
We live in a capitalistic society. I don't know why people try to separate politics from money.
Okay. Well, I wanna ask the homie Describe this next question here, and I think it may be related to what we're talking about here. Could it be that black people are just kind of looking at it in the wrong way? Could it be that Cuba is right in a way, maybe that instead of going against Trump, I know a lot of people are against him because of the racist rhetoric that he threw out. And I know that is something, and we will talk more about that. But I want to say, when it comes to business, Trump is a businessman, correct? And a lot of people, be that Kanye or his wife, have made business transactions with him to get benefits from him to aid what their stance was, be that getting black people out of prison system or changing the prison systems or whatever it is that they were trying to advocate for at the time. Could it be that black people's interest to make a business deal with Trump could be what's best for the black interests? So I want to ask Describe, could it be that the best play for the black people is to make a business deal with this businessman to get what we need in society?
That could be. I mean, but that also sounds a whole lot like the definition of selling your soul to an extent. I mean, we have the situation we have, right? We have the system we have. So I don't fault anybody or Cube for working within the system we have to create any change that they can possibly create. But at the same time, I'm of the mind that there is no change that's going to come from a system that was built on 3/5 of a man, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no change that's going to come from within this system if it continues to work correctly, as it has been and it's been working as designed. So I mean, you can look at it that way. I mean, you got who we got. He's a businessman. Let us make a business deal, but he's also a Nazi. Would you go into business with a Nazi? Would you trust a Nazi? You gonna shake hands with a Nazi? So, you know, like I said, we have the system that we have. So it's a question of whether you really believe that change is gonna come from within this system that's existed for these centuries, or if you believe that that's just not gonna work and that it has to come some other way outside of the system or from a broken system. You see what I'm saying? So if you believe the change can come from within this system, then I would think that you would believe that you need to make some kind of deal with whomever is guiding and steering this system, right? I'm of the mindset that I just don't think change is going to come from within the system, though. I'm not a better than nothing type of dude. I'm not a lesser of the two evils type of dude, because that has still left us to a point. And you're talking about people making deals to get folks out of prison. My boy is still doing 96 for 7 counts or something he didn't do. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. So these people ain't gonna make a business deal with me that is truly in my interest. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's a question of whether you believe change is gonna come from within this system as it is designed or not. I don't believe change is coming from within this system, so I have no interest in making real business deals with these people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna fault anybody for putting effort forth and trying to make change from within the system. I can't fault that. We just happen to have a basic disagreement on how this works. So,
okay. I want to add the homie Rob is on the line as well. I want to add you into this conversation, Rob. If you unmute your mic, I would like to know from you, is it that Cube is maybe making the right play there and trying to make a business deal with the businessman and trying to execute the black people interests in trying to make a deal with this man? I guess the way way that Ice Cube looked at it, he didn't care anything about politics. He didn't care if it was Biden or if it was Trump. He knows that right now it's party. It really comes down to party politics. So he doesn't care if it's Democrat or Republican. He's talking if it's the interest of blacks. He's saying, how can we get this done? So he's trying to make a business deal. Could it be that we're looking at it wrong and that the business play is the move to make?
So sorry, y'all, for joining in late. I had a family emergency. But no, thank you, Nari, for the question. And to echo what the brother Describe said, as it relates to your belief and where you put your action, I think he's most definitely correct, because where you believe things can happen, whether it's change or maintenance, then that's where you're going to, put your energy and effort at. And so as far as what, the big homie Ice Cube did, I think he looked at it as, through the lenses of James Baldwin, when he said to be black and conscious and educated is to be enraged at all times. And so what that means is that you understand the structure that you have to work with, which is the hierarchy of power within our democracy, which doesn't result in freedom for us. However, you talk to the person who is the figurehead, i.e. the president, who at this time is very polarizing and seems that he has more power, But we all know that even the position of a president doesn't yield that much power. You know, it's not really a president that makes all the moves and makes things happen and pass and go. You understand? That's something that we know, and he's playing on the fact that he can manipulate and confuse us to forget that. So he wants to seem like a person that, you know, we can go to and make plays and get the credit for it. And Ice Cube understands that. He knows that. He knows how to play somebody who's a manipulator. You know what I mean? And so that's what he's doing. He's recognizing that this man likes attention. You know, he wants to feel in control, feel in power. So I'm allow him to feel that and go in there and get what I can get. He didn't tell me that, but that's how I look at it from the outside in. And furthermore, then we have racism along with the structure. And the racism is what it is. We know. Do we get rich from settlements of us being killed in the streets? Is that how we want to generate generational wealth? It is not, but it is what is in place at this moment. So that leaves us in a very tough predicament. How do we navigate and move forward to a place where we feel truly free? And as a revolutionary, these are the questions and the things I battle with daily. You know, as somebody that's been out here, you know, in the streets during the heat of the summer, dealing with the protests, as a Black man, you know, and being proud of that, I think Ice Cube is just trying to get what he can get from a person who likes attention, and understanding that this racism is only going to be dismantled through continuous vote. You understand? Okay. So what we have is, you know, just a really terrible situation.
Okay. I think what Cuba's already emphasized, he's not playing politics here. So he said he really don't care about the politics. He's trying to get results. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. But he's trying to get results. He don't care where it comes from. So I want to get to the homie Bang and ask the same question here. Could it be in Black people's interest to go the Cuba and try to make a business deal with Trump or Biden, who it don't really matter, but to make a play towards Black interests?
I don't think it's the best move that we can make, but it's probably the second best move. A lot of people was against that. I guess I don't know exactly how many people was against it. I don't know how many of those people that was against it actually read the contract, but I read the contract, and I mean it's pretty good. I mean it's definitely a good start. It was a lot of things in there that we do need as Black people, and I feel like any president that's or any one of them, Trump or Biden, that gets elected to be president, if they are going to do those things for us, yes, we do need that. And I think that it will just create another step in and for us getting to the top. But the thing is, we can't continue to ask and have our hand out, you know what I'm saying, and expect them to help us out. We got to help ourselves out. What's in our best interest is if we stick together and we invest in our own communities, and we start renting, we start owning, we start supporting our own Black businesses, and we create we create power within our own community. You know, so we got to start buying up businesses, things that we already invest in with other communities, the barbershops, beauty supply stores. We can own our own hoods, you know what I'm saying, instead of renting. So I think that we need Black privilege. We need Black privilege amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is Black and they trying to do something, it don't even matter if I know you or I don't. If I see you trying to do something, I'm going to try to help you out. I'm going to support you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy something. I'm going to check you out. We got to start supporting each other so we can get to the point where it don't even fucking matter if the rest of the world don't support us. We supporting ourselves, you know, so we got to get to that point, and we got to support ourselves. We got to build wealth within our own communities. And that's really the only way we're going to get to where we need to be, where we want to be in this country or pretty much in this world, you know.
Okay, I want to ask Artist Collective. I want
I
to
was about to
ask.
say, can I rebut real quick?
Uh,
Can I just say one
okay, let's
thing?
hear it.
Um, just talking about obviously our vote, whether it matters, whether it doesn't matter, whether it counts. There's a misconception, and the misconception is that our vote doesn't really matter. But the funny thing is that our vote actually is the most important, and it always has been since day one when George Washington was running for president. And may I add, he's the only president that was liked on both sides for the most part. Everybody else is just hated. It's as plain as simple. We're never going to have a president that people like. One side's going to hate the other side. That's just plain and simple. But George Washington, when they were fighting the British, what did he do? He says no blacks are fighting in the military. Then he realized that the British were going to win, and he said, wait a minute, blacks, you can fight. Abraham Lincoln did the exact same thing. You continue to do it, and then they did, and then Eisenhower, and you keep on going. Because the thing is that what are they always talking? They don't talk about, hey, we got to get the rich white man to vote for us. We got to get this person to vote for us. We got to get this vote. It's black vote, people of color, and women. That's and that's in the order of what they must gain, because they know that there's going to be one side for Democrats, one side for Republicans. Now, who's the most important people to manipulate, twist their mind up, make endless promises, and subsequently say, I've helped more people than Abraham, or more black people, or the black community than Abraham Lincoln, other than Abraham Lincoln. And that just goes to show you how dumb this motherfucker is. Quite frankly, you don't know politics. You're in there just playing the game. And as I think Draper said earlier, or whoever may have said it, but maybe it was Rob, but the president's a patsy. He has two powers. He has the power to veto and the power to push a damn button when it's time to push a nuclear. And even still, he got to ask Congress to declare war. He has to ask permission, and that veto still has to go through. There's a process. And the thing is that the founding fathers were smart enough to make a process, take the Constitution and say, hey, this is supposed to evolve. However, we have people that don't want to do that. And every year is another year of someone not wanting the progression of black, because things don't work if black and white are not on the opposite. Hot and cold are not on the opposite. Dark and light, etc., etc., etc. With something that exists, the opposite has to exist. And unfortunately, we will always be the opposite. And we will always be that negative spectrum. And we can fight and claw and vote and do all these different things. But in turn, they're all just saying, I finally got the black vote. I finally got the black vote. We talk about Democrats. JFK was a Democrat, and he had a Southern Democrat. Lyndon B. Johnson was a racist. Come on, now he was down in the Southern area. That's why JFK had him. Because guess what? He's still going to do something to make or shed light on his presidency, to say, look at me, I did something. I signed the Civil Rights Bill. So I did something. But behind closed doors, he was probably like, man, these need to check themselves. He ain't like MLK. He didn't like all these people. So that's just the issue. You go and just look through history. It's always that way. Abraham Lincoln had Andrew Johnson, and Andrew Johnson hated black people. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why he was the first president to be impeached. He went and vetoed 120 vetoes or 121 vetoes the very first day, very first week. Why? Because he wanted to change the infrastructure that was being built to progress black people. And that's just the thing that people don't understand, that we are the most important people. So let's go out there, pick. But like we said, let's come together, decide what is the best platform for us. I get tired of people saying, hey, Obama did nothing for us. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If Obama decided to come and be president and decided, oh, I'm going to change the black community, guess what? Michelle might have been picking up his brains in the car. So at the end of the day, that's where we have to understand. We are always going to be those ones that have to scratch and claw, fight, and do all those things. And then they put us dogs in a cage and say, here's one slab of meat. Fight amongst each other. May the best man win. And that's what we do constantly. That's the hood. That's blacks moving out to the suburbs. That's blacks becoming Republicans. That's blacks saying, oh, Trump might do something. Like the sheriff in Milwaukee. Like, get the hell out of here, man. Come on now. So at the end of the day, that's what we must understand first, is that we are important and our vote is important. Go out and do it. We're already disenfranchised due to felonies, so we lose 38% of our votes anyways. And when we sit there and we say that, because it's like, okay, you're a felon. That's what they plan to do. That's the systematic racism. Throw them in prison so the fuckers can't vote. But let's do the 66 or 67% and say, hey, y'all the important ones, so vote. But we got to win, y'all. And then it goes into, and then it's just like, it's absolutely asinine to believe that, or continuing to believe that, yes, change is just going to happen instantly. However, we can say 400 years, we can say all these different things, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer than 7 days for an empire to be built and destroyed.
I agree with you, Elva. I agree with you.
Hey, you know what? I want to say something real quick about that, though, because he's absolutely right.
Real quick.
How important that we are, because I feel like we are very valuable. You know what I'm saying? We are kings. We are lions in the jungle. And that's the reason why they try so hard to bring us down, because they know once we rise up, you know what I'm saying, we'll go straight to the motherfucking top. We are kings and queens, and we are very important. The whole world copy us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why they hate on us. You know what I mean? Because we are very, very valuable. So I just wanted to throw that in there, because I definitely agree with what my man just had to say. Okay.
I know D-Scribe wants to also jump in on that, but I also want to ask him at the same time, I want to ask, based off what Alva just said, is racism like a end all be all for you with the candidate? I mean, can you make it like we just said about making a deal with, be it Trump or whoever? Can you link and join with someone that you know is a racist?
So if y'all can trust a racist, that's cool, but I can't. And to the point, I mean, I want to get let's not confuse. Sorry, let's not confuse self-esteem with the importance of our vote. You know what I'm saying? I agree. We are kings, and we are the most important people, and we are the original people, and we are the original DNA helix, and we are all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean our vote matters. You know what I'm saying? Or that doesn't mean that because we scream on something, it's gonna happen. And at the same time, I heard when we were discussing before, I heard discussions of economic power and that we don't have economic power. We got trillions of dollars of economic power, but we got big screens and we eat Takis for breakfast half the time. At least the kids I work with do. And you know what I'm saying? We comfortable. So I'm just going to say as a side note, I disagree that we don't have the economic power. We don't exercise and unify our economic power, and that's on us. Again, I mean, if you're going to participate in it and believe in it to the fullest. But it's a two-party system in which, you know, racism is baked into this cake. It's baked into this cake. You see what I'm saying? Like 3/5 of a man. They changed that, but that's what the hell this whole country is about. So, you know, as a black man, I spend my time pouring into young black youth, males and females, and young artists and all that, because I personally don't subscribe to this whole charade, this whole TV show, this whole reality show. You see what I'm saying? And that's not to disrespect anybody's beliefs or to down anybody's beliefs, but I don't see it. I'd love for somebody to show me where this is going to yield results. You see what I'm saying? But this two-party system, as it's designed over the last few centuries, has been working perfectly, and we continue to die, and they continue to get rich. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Got you. Artist Collective, we're gonna hit you. I want to ask. I
don't know
want to follow along
if I
with
could
the
go.
racism thing. I want to know from you, Artist Collective. Are you going to be
I
able to
think the
follow a
question, the
candidate if you
idea of,
know?
are we worried about racism?
Yeah.
Are we worried about?
Go ahead. Keep talking. Did we lose him?
I think the idea of a candidate with racism is a very, very unique one because I don't think we've never had a non-racist candidate. I think if you're gonna think Obama is not racist, then fine. But Obama was prejudiced. It's some form of factor. So the idea that racism or prejudices need to determine whether I'm going to vote for you is a long lost art, right? Because at the end of the day, there is a black man running who we know is not racist, and we're not even talking about voting for him, right? So it's not about racism. It's about who we want to vote for. Because if it was about voting black, there's a great black candidate running who can't be no worse than the two white men we're being forced to vote for. So I think at this point, the only thing we should be doing is figuring out where or how do we stop eliminating racism to determine our lives completely. You know, white people are the only people on this planet who could go their whole lives without seeing a minority. Like, think about that. Your whole life without seeing a minority, which means you'll never deal with prejudices if you only stay with your people. You can deal with prejudices around other Caucasian people, but you'll never deal with minority to minority prejudices. We will spend our whole lives trying to avoid a system of racism. No matter what we do, no matter where we go, no matter where we are. So the idea that we can avoid it or we can pick someone that's not racist is holding us back. Either we're going to deal with the fact that they're both racist, that they both got their own issues, and pick the both one that is economically helping our pocket, and then it gets predictable of whose pocket are we talking about? Are we talking about the lower end pocket? Are we talking about the middle class pocket? Are we talking about the over 400Ks? When 50 Cent says, yo, I don't want Biden's tax plan, that nigga really don't want Biden's tax plan, excuse my language, but he's got a real reason not to want his tax plan. But what people are not talking about, raises taxes, are raise tax on the as well, which means it's going to affect black pockets as a whole. So either we going to vote for a white racist man that's putting money in our pockets, or a white racist man that's going to eventually take money out of our pockets. But they're going to be racist no matter what. Kamala Harris's husband is a racist, right? Like, he's a white man. Abraham Lincoln's wife's father was a racist slave owner. Like, he married the daughter of a slave owner. Racism will always be intertwined. You just got to pick your favorite racist at that point, because racism only affects you if you let it.
Okay. I want to ask the homie Al. I want to basically ask: Are you not black if you don't vote Democrat? I mean, the homie Joe Biden said it in a podcast with the homie Charlemagne the God. He said basically that if you are black and you don't know who to vote for, you're not black if you don't vote for me. So, to paraphrase what he said, basically, are you not black if you don't vote for him?
I think that the whole statement just goes to what I was just saying, was saying that the Democrats assume that no matter what, the black people are going to vote Democrat, because this presumption of the Democrats is always for black people. And I think he got ahead of himself and maybe misspoke, but that's the way I think the Democratic Party really thinks. You know, if you're black, you're going to vote for us because we always had your back. But if you look at it, if you look at history and you look at what's really going on, you need to start asking those hard questions. Yes, I'm black, but what are you really doing for me and my race? We still, like the brother said, we still got ghettos. Ain't nothing changed. Obama was in 8 years. Still got ghettos. You know, LGBTQ, XYZ, hey, they got more power than black people now. That only came about when number 44, 43 was in office. I don't know the number. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, how I look at it, politicians are politicians. All of them got to stick up their ass, and all they doing is what somebody that got $1 billion, $1 trillion want them to do. So it don't matter what color it is, don't matter what party you is. If you got the money to put them in office, just one quick thing, and I'll let it go. Why are people spending millions of dollars for a job that only pays a few $100,000? They're not doing it just because they like the nice Cadillac to get to ride in. It's a reason behind it. And when people wake up and realize that they're being pushed into this game, Democrat, Republican, and they realize that we do need another party, then maybe something happen. But other than that, it just BS. It's all it is, BS. I vote because, hey, I got the speech from my grandmother. You know how many people died so you can have the right to vote? Hey, all right, grandma, make some more greens. I vote. So that's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, this is all politicians, bro. We fighting each other. We calling each other names, busting our brothers' windows because we're not riding with the next racist slave owner. It don't matter, bro.
I want to ask Nari, though. So if we stating that the Democratic Party is just expecting us to vote for whatever reason their way, I guess to be fair, I want to ask the other side, what is it that we should expect from the Republican Party as a Black African American?
Well, I just want to say this first. I think a lot of the times when people discuss politics, they discuss it as if the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are two different governments, when they are only two separate parties, but they are the same government and they work together. Like if you look at old interviews and old newspaper articles, Donald Trump and Hillary have been friends for the longest, negotiating this stuff, planning these things out. So when it comes down to it, I think people need to kind of realize that, yeah, these are two separate parties, but it's still all under the same government at the end of the day. But as far as,
so I want to be fair. You know, we are critiquing here the Democratic Party, but I want to ask, what should Black folk expect from the Republican Party if they were to vote for the Republicans?
In my honest opinion, I don't think we should expect anything, because it's like what Describe was saying, like when he defined insanity for us in the beginning. We've been voting for years, years. And we've been suffering voter suppression and all of this for years. We've been voting for years and nothing has changed, like we've been saying. So honestly, I don't think we should expect anything from them. But with Ice Cube standing, going and trying to negotiate with them, I feel like it was more so a demand from him, not really a negotiation. Like he was saying, this is what we need. He was saying, I don't care about the politics. I don't care about none of the other stuff. He was saying, this is what we need. This is what Black people need. And this is all I care about. And I think that Black people need to start seeing it as that too. It's just like when we divide ourselves by how much money we make or religion or whatever, it's like, okay, you're a Christian, I'm a Muslim. But what are we going to do for Black people at the end of the day? You're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. But what are we going to do for Black people at the end of the day? And I think when we discuss politics, we don't discuss other things that go into it, like within our community, as far as like classism and sexism on top of racism, you know what I mean? So you got these different people living different lifestyles. And I think it was said in one of Tupac interviews, he said, it's not that people want to kill, they just don't want to die. And I think if we put it in this context, it's not that we want to be against each other. Sometimes it's that people's lifestyles are different from each other, even though we're all Black people. So that kind of divides us in a sense too. Even though we're all still on the playing field, we've been kind of conditioned that we are on different playing fields, depending on how much money you make and your social status.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I want to ask the homie Drake. Thank you for that, Nari. I want to ask the homie Draper the question and get your opinion on this. I want to ask, basically, are Black people being played by Democrats?
Played in what manner? What do you mean,
for
sir?
years and years and years, people, like many people will say, blacks have voted strictly Democrats for years and years and years. And I guess like many of the panel has said, everything has kind of been the same, I guess. And we've been, whereas Nari wasn't really able to tell me that the Republicans have promised anything. I guess the Democrats have promised quite a bit. And I guess that's why many people would say that's why blacks vote Democrats. But are blacks being played by the Democrats is my question to you.
It depends, because you got people like 50, Charles Barkley, wealthy, black people, and they have wealthy people problems. It's not a black or white, it's wealthy people problems. So they kind of differentiate themselves from the struggle of what it means to be quote unquote black. So when the Democratic Party comes to play, we don't even remember that. Wasn't it? Wasn't Frederick Douglass a Republican or something like that? I think he started out a Republican or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? And when you lay out the goals or what you're looking for, a lot of times the opinions are split. So some things that you may be going for may be under the Republican banner, as far as, let's just say, the welfare or what have you. I'm just throwing issues out there. And the Democratic vote may not be in alignment with what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? But we don't look at that as black people. We just looked at, we've always been taught Democrat is the liberal. You're a liberal because you're African American. It's, that's the way to go. That's the only way that you can go. And then, when these people, they reach that status, decide to say, you know what, I don't agree with, the Democrat. They're sellouts. They're this, they're that. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting pimped on both sides. That's what I feel like. It's politics and bullshit. Politics as usual, as Jay would have said. You know what I'm saying? And once we put our hand in there, it's going to get dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be clean. It's not going to be, we are the world and kumbaya. It's politics. It's dirty. It's filthy, and we at the bottom. And as much as we want to talk about it, we still are not empowered. So that's why I think you see some of the kids now with the rioting and the protesting, they're just fed up. It's a new generation that just ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with them is they're not guided. So where's the Democratic Party? Where's the leader? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of messed up, but we're in this situation and this is just who we are. So we got to deal with it. So yeah, we've been getting pimped, just to answer the question.
Okay. Rob, I want to hear from you. I want to get a chance for you to speak. Are we getting played by the Democratic Party, or is there blacks have been riding with the Democrats for a long time, and there's been a question out there now: are we being played?
Yeah, are we being played? So what do you mean by being played?
I guess the question states based off of the fact that we've been following this party for a long time. We've been riding with them for a long time now, and not really getting anywhere as far as having our needs met or anything like that. There's been a lot of promises being made every 4 years, but not a lot's really been brought to the table that's been of legitimacy.
Okay, so I guess to answer the question, I would have to start with just by saying that I think we as a people of darker skin have believed what we've been told since day one. And day one meaning when we couldn't read and we weren't allowed to read. So what we are doing is what we have always done, believing what we've been told. And the Democrats, the white supremacists on the left, AKA, have always told and gave us a glimpse, sometimes more, of hope. that change could come through their leadership. But as Black people, we just have to stop thinking about red and what is it, blue? Yeah, a two-party system. We have to think about a revolution. We have to think about everything that we feel every day, everything that we see every day that happens to only us. And that is true. There are things that is happening to only us. And if we choose red or blue, as history has told us, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. I mean, you look at the beating of Rodney King, 92. You understand? The man who filmed that had a camera that you had to put on your shoulder. We film in police brutality with camera phones. Technology has advanced. Has our condition advanced? No. But we're able to capture it even more widely and often. So we have to really think outside the box.
Okay. So I want to hit Albert with the final with one of my final questions here. I want to know from you, if we're stating that, red and blue really hasn't worked for us as African Americans, I guess, how do we get heard is my final question.
Well, the first thing that we as a Black community need, people of color in general, I guess, we need a leader who's going to be someone that is thinking with that thing between their ears and not other situations, other influences. We need people that stand up and the craziest thing is that we predicate a lot of things off of celebrity these days. What they think. Snoop just said that this was the first year that this dude has ever registered to vote. So how can people have the audacity? Now, mind you, how do we even know that Cube ever have voted? Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, all these people whom sitting here and publicize, oh, you got to do this, oh, you got to do that. Kim Kardashian, they have commercials and shit, and they're talking about put your mask on, don't be out, her and Kylie and all that. And who gives a fuck what they got to say? While you're saying that you ain't wearing a mask and you in Cabo with 45 people. All I see is vacation. Oh, they went on a vacation with Scott and this girl, that girl, and 15 other people. Yet they say, stay home, put on a mask, blah, blah, blah. All of these things. And I tell people this all the time. And obviously people on here are all musical in some way, shape, or form. Blacks thrive on music. We always have. It was our form of communication. It was our form of strength. It got us through so much. We personified everything. People always wait. Why do Black people get to say nigga? Because we took it, twisted the word, and made money out of it. Just like we took chitlins and pig feet, twisted it, and made a whole motherfucking feast. We're powerful people now. Don't get it twisted. So while we're sitting there and these people are saying, oh, go out and do this, go out and do that, we don't have a true leader that it has our greater interest in us. Because I love Morgan Freeman. I really do. But for him to say things are different, look at me. Dude, you ain't even become famous till you were 49 years old. Everybody's like, oh, Morgan Freeman never ages. He ain't never aged because he started when he was 50. Like, of course. Like, so Samuel L. Jackson, same thing. Like, y'all took the hard road. Samuel L., he shuts his mouth because one thing, he might speak up and say F everybody, but he was a crackhead. He was doing all that stuff. That wasn't acting when he was Gator. That was life. So at the end of the day, we sit here and we ride coattails of all of these celebs, all of these people trying to tell us which way to go while they're got money in their pocket. We sitting here struggling, and the Democrat Republican Party. I'm sorry, but a lot of people got to understand. The first congressman, Black congressmen, 32 of them were Republicans. And another thing, everybody, we keep saying we voted Democrat so long. It's only about a 10-year gap between us being Republican and Democrat. Republican, we were voting Republican 1860 to about 1940s. Then we started voting Democrat 1940s to 2020. So there's not much of a gap. But guess why we shifted? Because they started putting other things in our heads, started saying, well, we did this, we did that. So the Republican Party sits here all day long and talks about Abraham Lincoln when Abraham Lincoln would have been a Democrat today. So, all of the Republican Party that was created in 1860 would be Democrats. Yeah. And people don't want to admit that. So they say, oh, Republican Party, what has the Democrat Party done for you? Yeah, the Democrats had us in slavery. They were racist Southerners. And then now Republicans are racist Southerners. George Washington, the founding fathers said a two-party system will be the fail of government. And as you see it, we cemented it by never changing. Our First Amendment right, Second Amendment right, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, the Bill of Rights in general has nothing to do with nothing besides the freedom of speech. And then, I want my Second Amendment right to hold guns. Yeah, you could have a gun back then because the closest neighbor you had was 5 miles away and y'all had candlelight. So yes, I'm going to have me a pistol or a shotgun or something if somebody comes on my land. We don't need that now. We don't need those things. While racism is predicated off of the very foundation of America. They brought us here to build this place. If they keep us down, they continue to build their wealth. And that's the systematic. It's nepotism. We failed to do nepotism. A secret that a lot of people don't get in the Black community is that nepotism was created through life insurance. Get you some life insurance. It's like owning a home. You have wealth. You create wealth by doing little things. And buy a home, get credit, build those things up. There's a bigger picture that we fail to realize because that's the way that they want it to be. And now all of this stuff happens. I heard somebody say, the Holocaust was the greatest atrocity known to man. No, it was the greatest atrocity known to man that was filmed because slavery wasn't filmed. And this is what the infrastructure is being tested right now because these things, cell phones, and everybody's catching everything. You can't miss it these days because somebody has it ready access. So now it's the fight. Oh, well, no, no, it's not that. No, we're not racist. We love Black people. I have 5 Black friends, and it's that situation. And Cube, and to go back and segue to Cube and all of these people, he's trying to be a leader. He's trying to change that. But what he's basically saying, like y'all said, these are standards. These are demands. Listen, what you going to do, because you're the incumbent, you have the best chance to win regardless of what numbers say just because you're sitting in the seat. That's been proven. Shoot, we haven't had a one election president since first Bush. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, they're expecting it to be a second term regardless. So if we really do vote and fight it out, Cube is like, listen, if you make it, I want to have something in place when you do. He ain't going to know who Cube voted for. Trump ain't going to know if I voted for him or not. I'm just going to make a deal and not vote for your ass. And then if you win, the deal will be in place. If you don't, hey, Biden, what's up, dog?
I hear you. So I feel like there's so much more. I know everybody wants to say something, and I feel like there's so much more to say about this conversation. But I am way over my time. My producers are probably going to kill me here. But I really feel like there's so much more to say about this conversation, and I hope that everybody adds more to the chat line. I appreciate everybody that did come and join the panel. I do want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of say how we can reach out to them again. Al, can you tell the people one more time about your podcast?
Well, I'm gonna do half because I got my other brother from another mother here to finish it up. But the AntiSocial Podcast is basically 2 grumpy old men talking about our life experiences and basically showing how really we are antisocial, but not so much. And I'm gonna throw it to my brother from another mother, Mr. Draper, to finish up.
Okay. Jerpy, let them know more about that. Yeah, take it off mute. Jerpy on mute.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
You got me?
Yep.
All right. We are the AntiSocial Club podcast. We are everywhere. You know, Apple, Google, wherever you do grab your podcast. And man, we're trying to put some legacy out here. That's our word of the day, legacy, you know. But in the midst of being legacy, we're actually ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Ratchet and ignorant at the same time, you know. But it's just like some cats out here just talking about issues kind of like where we at. We kind of touched on today. But then, you know, we also got our own little twists and turns. So, man, come check us out. We're on season 2 right now. And, man, hopefully we can get back in tune.
Okay, homie Bang, let the people know. We know you're doing the music. Let the people know where they can find that.
Yeah, so that's my Instagram down there, Bang Too Real. And also Blaze Estate 608. That's my company. I was throwing a whole lot of shows here in the Madison area. Obviously that got shut down though this year. So hooked up with my man Rambunctious, and we created Written Rumble Series 1, where artists who has the best verses, they compete for a grand prize. So we filmed one already, probably about a month ago, and we're gonna end up doing a series 2 pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. Y'all can also search Written Rumble Series on Facebook to get updates on that as well.
Also, we got the homie Artist Collective. I don't know. We can hear him. Okay, but y'all see the social media site for him. Please reach out to him. He got music drop.
Oh,
okay, there you go.
Oh, my bad. All I really said was thank you for having us. Check out the music below. Check out MP Official.
That's what's up. Also, we thank you, Nari, for joining the program. Do you have a social media to drop anything?
You can follow me on Instagram at _Miss_X. I'm also the co-founder of the Young Panthers of Madison. I don't know if you all heard about them, but it was an all-city Black student union that I helped start in Madison. Also, I'm young, y'all. You know, I'm 18. I'm still figuring things out, but this is not the last y'all will hear from me, and y'all hear about me, you know, later on.
The first time she gets to vote, y'all, 18 years old. That's what's up. Also, the homie D-Scribe was on the line. D-Scribe is he works producing music as well. He's got a recording studio. Please reach out to him. All you future artists as well. Studio's banging out there. He's got stuff going, like he said, from Milwaukee to Green Bay. He's taking on all artists, so it's what up. And we thank you, Alva, also for joining the program. Alva,
absolutely.
He doesn't have any social media online, right?
Yeah,
but
well, I got my Facebook and Twitter, but I ain't much of a social media
okay, we respect that.
So I mean, yeah, I just but hey, I appreciate you having me as well, and always enjoy getting to discuss issues, problems, and also solutions. So anytime you're willing to have me, I would be honored to be on again. So appreciate you.
Up? We appreciate you, Alva. And also, we had Rob on the line. Rob also had to go, but we do appreciate him dropping some knowledge on the program as well. Rob, there you go, back. Rob, you want to say final shout out to the people? Oh, you got on mute.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Brother Corey and yourself hosting this platform for us to talk. Just to share our views, hearing each other in in the Black community, I think is very important, and to our soul and to our mental health, just to know that other people are thinking about these issues and these realities that we deal with on a daily in our own spaces, in our own worlds. So I'll just like to let you all music artists know I'm a visual artist, and so I drop my Instagram. Anybody doing videos, music about, you know, just the revolution and what we need change, I could supply you with art to provide that visual piece for people to see what we want and what we need. Peace and love.
That's what's up. We're hitting y'all at all levels there. Multi-talent on this panel. And y'all heard so many different good expressions, not only musically, not only visually, not only, you know, sonically, but at the same time, they got minds, y'all. They got minds, and they really tell you politically, and that Black people really do have a word out here, and we really do function like that. A lot of people don't understand that there is a reason, like Alva said, there's a reason why they try to fight so hard to take away our vote. They try to suppress the vote. They try to take it away, and there's a reason why they do that. But we encourage you here at Radio 22 to go ahead and rock the vote, and you know, take your power, because so many your ancestors did fight for that, and we definitely encourage you to go out and vote. However you vote, it is your opinion, it is your right to do so. So we encourage you to go ahead and do that. And until next time, y'all, I know there's so much more to talk about in this conversation. I hope to revisit maybe some real soon. But until next time, y'all, we appreciate you so much for listening in. This is MJ, Mr. to the Jizzle, Radio 22, Talk 22. Next time, y'all. Peace.